Every week, brand new comedy featuring 12 of the hottest comedians. It's the new HBO series, One Night Stand, with Judy Tenuta.
I got an A in philosophy because I proved my professor didn't exist.
Tom Herrera.
They're calling on with a sex change operation, transistor.
Bob Nelson. Joy Behar.
Want a man in my life, but not in my house.
Kevin Meaney.
I was circumcised every year for my birthday.
Blake Clark.
Judge Walker's the only decent judge we have in this country.
Barry Sobel.
What is little Richard doing on the Hollywood squares?
Rita Rudner.
People with curly hair want straight, and people straight want curly, and bald people want everyone to be blind.
Kevin Pollak.
Oh, what am I, an idiot?
Bill Maher.
Ask the key questions. What is the nature of man? What is the meaning of life? Is wrestling fixed?
Damon Wayne.
You're doing comedy now, right? You're doing comedy, man. Yo, you funny?
And Paula Poundstone.
Took a year of high school French. All I can do is ask how Monique is.
One Night Stand. Only on HBO.
For the best time on TV, catch the brightest leading funny men on HBO, the best movies. With stars like Chevy Chase fishing around in George Roy Hill's far-out funny farm. Bruce Willis and James Garner riding high in Blake Edwards' cowboy comedy Sunset. Pee Wee Herman flying through the air in his three-ring smash Big Top Pee Wee. Dudley Moore funnier than ever in Arthur 2 on the Rocks. They're all part of the best time on TV, and they're some of the funniest leading men on HBO, the best movies.
Hi, I'm Bill Maher, and welcome to my first HBO special. You caught me reminiscing here. Believe it or not, this is where show business started for me. This is my uncle's house, my Uncle Henry. He was a real classy guy. In fact, this is the garage.
Higgins, you're insane. What you propose is preposterous.
Nonsense, Pickering. I said it and I meant it, and a bet is a bet. I maintain I can take anybody, and I mean anybody, and turn him into a first-rate stand-up comedian.
No, but, Professor, your kids today have been brainwashed, programmed with bad comedy. If it's not screamed in their ears or smashed in their face, they just don't get it.
Precisely, Pickering, which is why this shall be my greatest triumph. I'm telling you, I can take the most wretched perpetrator of sophomoric generic comedy drivel and turn him into a seamless paragon of that most endangered form of expression, wit.
Can't be done.
Think of it, Pickering. A comedian so well-versed in the issues of the day that all the land will hail him as a social commentator.
Absurd.
He'll be compared with Will Rogers and the great Chaplin.
But don't make me laugh.
But he will. And I'll go one further, Pickering. He'll make you laugh, and he'll make you think.
Oh, no. There, Higgins, now you've gone too far. Don't forget we're talking about your very own nephew.
Only I could take even that mindless gutter snipe and turn him into a comedian worthy of his own special on America's largest pay cable network. HBO.
Oh, no.
Hey, Unc. Hey, how's it hanging? Hey, the Pickster, the Pickman, the Pickhead, Pickle Brain, Colonel Kangaroo. How you guys doing? Hey, what'd you run out of lewds?
Oh, shut up. You're making me sick. Don't you have one single original thought of your own?
Oh, yeah, I got something. You guys, I'm gonna joke you guys off now. Okay, ready? You're gonna love this. Okay, Jack Nicholson, if he worked at McDonald's. Okay? I think it might go,
get on with it! So where do the McNuggets fit back into the fucking chicken?
You're in deep shit now, Higgins.
Yes, old sod, but at least there's progress this time. There were no props.
Oh, that reminds me, I got a great one. Oh, watch this. You're gonna love this. Okay. All right.
What is that?
It's a balloon animal.
Pickering, would you do the honors, please?
With pleasure.
Dear boy, is it really your intention to make me physically ill? Don't you have one single original thought? Something, anything based in reality?
Yeah. I wrote a joke. I don't know if it's any good, but I was thinking, like, since my mother's Jewish and my father's Catholic, maybe when I went into confession, I would bring a lawyer in with me.
That's funny.
Yes, but he must have a tag.
Huh. Yeah, I got that. And then I say, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I think you know Mr. Cohen.
By George, he's got it! He's got it! He's really got it!
Oh, I think he's got it. He has got it. He's got it. By George, he's got it. I'm telling you, he's got it.
From San Francisco's fabulous Fillmore, HBO presents One Night Stand, starring Bill Maher. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bill Maher.
Wow. Thank you. Stop. Oh, boy. Well, okay. Well, thank you very much for that fake pumped-up TV applause. It really makes a guy feel good, and it's really nice to be doing an HBO special. I tell you, when I first started doing comedy on television, I thought it'd be a great way to meet girls, but now I kind of wish I'd been an evangelist. Originally from the East. Am I from the East? Japan is my home. And the Osaka area, anybody? No, actually, I moved out here from New York City, which I never liked. And, well, I'm sorry, it is the rudest city in the world, New York City. In fact, I do one impression. I'd like to do it for you now. My impression of a New York City cop after the crucifixion of Christ. Show's over. Well, that's it for impressions, but, no, I know. Well, we probably have college students here tonight, and... Oh, that's too many. But, no, it's just all changed so much. I mean, I sometimes do colleges, and first of all, they drink more. Now, when I was in college, we did drugs, and I think we were better off. You know, if you're gonna get fucked up, be a man about it and take a drug. This drinking beer and puking on your shoes is nowhere. Boy, when I was in college, we did acid and mushrooms and... Did I mention acid? I don't remember what the drugs were, but we enjoyed them, and... No. College, I did too much. College, my motto was, if you're not wasted, the day is. Which is... no way to live, you know. Drugs are really one of the things that makes me feel old, because, you know, I used to, you know, college, I knew all the drugs, I did all the drugs. Now, there are drugs I ain't never heard of, never seen. I have to read about it in the paper. You know, crack is on the news every day, and they just rub it in. Crack is everywhere. Anybody can get crack anywhere. I can't get crack. Really. Help an old man. What street corners? What schoolyards? I'll go, but I could be in Macy's window. Crack. I mean, you know, not that I want to do crack. I would just like, you know, if I did, I would know where to get it. But I'm not an old fart who doesn't know where the drugs are anymore, but I've never even seen it, which makes me as bad as my father when he, you know, because he used to find marijuana. He didn't know what marijuana was. He could find a whole bag, and I'd just go, boy, the things you track in from outdoors. Pot, Dad, those are seeds for Israel. No, I'm very wistful about those days, because I went to college kind of at the end of that hippie era, and maybe it's because the first girl I ever met at college was one of the last of the real flower children, a true hippie, and I never forget we were in bed the first time, and it's a little delicate, but you're a nice crowd, I'll tell you. But she was such a hippie, we were in bed, and she was touching herself, all over, and, you know, I'm from New Jersey. I didn't know. And I said, what gives? And, you know, her answer was so hippie. She said, well, it's like when we make love, there's no me and no you. Our bodies are like one continuous being. I said, okay, but how about paying some attention to our dick? Well, you're a good crowd, you deserve a dick joke. That's the way I look at it, ladies and gentlemen. But no, it all has changed. I mean, when I went to school, boy, at least there were causes and people cared and there were issues. And the biggest protest song I've heard in the 1980s is the Beastie Boys singing, "You've got to fight for your right to party." Not exactly blowing in the wind, is it? I mean, we had the war, racism, ecology. These kids have to fight for their right to party. I mean, can we have a benefit for these kids right now? Was the Constitution that blind? Come on. Oh, I know what you young people are saying. You're saying, sure, there are world problems. But what can we do about it? We're no folk singers. But you have to try, at least ask the key questions. What is the nature of man? What is the meaning of life? Is wrestling fixed? What is Martinizing, and why does it take only 1 hour? You know? Well, those are about as complex as the issues got in the '88 election. I mean, I must say, yeah. I mean, after watching that whole thing, how many agree with me? Maybe this whole democracy thing is not for us, huh? Maybe. Now, don't you think people that have to organize the presidential debates around the baseball playoffs, maybe a little priority enema is in order there? I mean, and Ronald Reagan, God bless him, we can talk about him now that he's gone. I mean, he did some good things, but I must say, he also kind of made dumbness a virtue. You know, I mean... What made me laugh the most is George Bush would critique Dukakis by saying he was Harvard. He went to his Harvard and he was serious. And yeah, smart and serious. Who's want those qualities in a president, huh? You know, better to have a Mr. Happy Face for 8 years, isn't it? You know, Bush went to Yale, but he plays that at Yale. That was the Yale locksmith school. Come on, I went to Chico State. Please, you know. Oh, God. But, you know, the big virtue with Reagan was he was a nice guy. Everybody always defended him. He was a nice guy. Like, that's a reason to run the world. He's a nice guy. Good, let him get a little store, okay? You know? You want a bag with that? Perfect for him, you know? It's nice guy. We need a great man. I mean, there is a difference, you know? General George S. Patton, for example, defeated the Nazis, was a great man. Dick Van Patten is a nice guy. You don't switch their jobs, you know? You don't send Dick to beat the Nazis, and you certainly wouldn't want the general on 8 is enough. But, no, I never realized until recently that Reagan had a meaning to his madness. I mean, you know, he established very early on that he knew nothing, that government was not his field, and then when all the shit hit the fan in his second term, he could just go, I don't know, and everybody believed him. And it really worked, you know. Nixon said, I don't know. Everybody went, yeah, sure. Reagan said it. Reagan said it. He went, oh, well, okay. Well, I mean, that's a powerful I don't know from this guy. When he says, I don't know, I believe him, you know. I mean, everybody caught hell for that Iran-Contra scandal. Nobody believed Reagan could have masterminded anything, you know. I mean, the thought of him with maps and diversions and the money, oh, come on. I mean, lucky if he can understand the plan, this guy. I mean, if it didn't fit on a one-page summary, forget about it. It was government by cue card for 8 years. Yeah, Ron means everything he reads. But, you know, this thing about this old chestnut about the wisdom of the people, oh, don't make me laugh. I mean, we've done nothing but pick schmucks and losers for 200 years. I mean, who was good? Lincoln and Washington. Ooh, beginner's luck. You know, I mean, God, I thought, you know, Nixon and Carter, I thought that was like the bottom of the barrel, but Dan Quayle came along and proved that if you lift up the barrel... I never thought there'd be someone who made me miss Reagan, but he does, because at least Reagan was a nice guy. You know, you could never really hate him. But I used to actually feel sorry for him sometimes, because, you know, like at a press conference, he hated press conferences, he never had one. But when he had one, you know, I felt so bad for him, because, you know, it was a test of knowledge, he has none. It was a quiz, he didn't study, you know, and they would fire these questions at him, and the poor guy would get a look in his eye. It was that look your dog gets when you switch a ball from hand to hand, you know. Dumb as a block of wood, this guy. I mean, what a nice guy, you know, nice guys. Sometimes I would watch him and I'd think, this guy really doesn't even know what job he has. No, because you ever see him when he goes out to get the plane or the helicopter? The reporters always shout questions across the way. He would do this every time. Like he's gonna miss the plane, you know, I mean, does he know who he is, this guy? I mean, what was he thinking? The pilot, hey, buddy, I don't care who you are. This thing's getting up on time, and... But, you know, how could you hate a guy who was that modest and nice? You know, and he always had that sympathy list. You know, he was nice, and he was old, and he got shot, and he had cancer, and he had something on his nose, and he had something up his ass, you know, I mean... Oh, they were always finding something new in there, weren't they? Well, we found Ed Meese's old high school ring in there yesterday. There was a great guy, Ed Meese, huh? With his pornography commission, like that was the biggest issue facing America. Yeah, get the Playboys out of the 7-Elevens. What could be more important? As if he wasn't... You ever see Ed Meese? What a sleazebag. He looked like the kind of guy who, more than once in his life, used the phrase, yeah, but how much for just a blowjob? But, you know, Reagan, at least you were rooting for him. You wanted him to get better. And, of course, it was a moot point anyway, because you couldn't kill him with a stick, this guy. He was like one of those monsters in a horror movie, you know? I mean, he got shot, he got cancer, there was an axe in his head. Reagan 2, Reagan 3, Reagan 4. You know. It's like Jason goes to the White House with this guy, you know? It's so funny, you know, in Russia, the guy gets a cold, he's dead in a week. But this guy... And that's why George Bush fought such a dirty campaign to get there, because he wanted it so bad, because he thought he was going to get it 8 years ago. You know, when he was vice president, he was thinking, hey, what is he, 90? I'll be in there in a week, come on, you know. He probably went around the White House trying to scare him. Boo! You know. Well, he's got it now. President Bush and Vice President Quayle working for a better yesterday. I would like him a lot better if he would just come out and admit that Quayle is a snot-nosed, blow-dried little rich kid. You know, who went down to the draft board in his pantyhose and, you know, just... He always says he's a defense expert. Oh, yeah, you know, Quayle's big plan, blow up Chicago, then tell the Russians, hey, that's what we do to a city we like, okay? And that wife of his, Mrs. Quayle, that is a Republican-looking bitch. I'm sorry, but... She's not ugly, she's just Republican-looking, and that's worse. I mean, you know, even George Bush, who apparently married his mother, even he looks at her and goes, hey, that's still Republican, okay? I mean, the Democrats are more disorganized, but they have more fun, you know? I mean, John F. Kennedy, even my hero. I mean, here's a guy who made love to Marilyn Monroe in the White House. To me, that's what this country is all about, ladies and gentlemen. If you need a bigger ego trip than that, I don't know where you go, because you have one finger on the button and the other 9 on Marilyn Monroe. Gee, should I blow up the world or come? What do I feel like? What would be good for me now? How could my needs be served? Bobby, help me with this one, would you please? Jack and Bobby, they were so dynamic, those Kennedys. Ted, unfortunately, is like Fredo in The Godfather. You know, oh, he's that slow brother. Now, there is one reason I like Dan Quayle, because he's also the drug czar, and I like drugs. I want the most ineffective person in the world. He's not going to stop Noriega, this guy. Noriega, a good example of how, you know, Reagan was always saying we're standing up, standing tall. Remember Noriega? We told him in Panama, get out! Whatever's good for you, you know, just... We're going to have to close the Panama Canal. I would hate to be the first boat to hear, you got to go around. Sorry. Sorry, let me give you directions. Go past South America. You're going to want to make a right, don't. But, I mean, let's face it, since Vietnam, we've only fought with countries we know we can beat the shit out of anyway. I mean, we attacked Grenada. There was a battle, huh, boy? We kicked some ass there. Our finest hour, or half hour, as the case may be. Then we attacked Libya, tried to kill Gaddafi. He's the president of the country, lives in a tent. We couldn't kill him. How hard is it to get a bomb in a tent? That's a double knit thing, sir. We couldn't, I mean, this is a crack military. We have, remember the raid into Iran to get the hostages out? That was, you know, the helicopters back into each other. I mean, to die in battle is one thing. To have an accident in the parking lot, I mean, wow. Just at least get to the gig, fellas, you know. We had a ship blown up in the Persian Gulf last year. And what really killed me about this one was, you know how they spotted the missile coming at them? It's true, a lookout. What are we, in Columbus's day now? I mean, there's $1 billion defense budget. There's a guy in the crow's nest up there. Hey, laddie! It's an exocet coming right at us! Radar, sonar. No, there's a parrot on the guy's shoulder. What? But, you know, people love it. It always plays great in the press. You know, we bombed Libya. People went, yeah, let's bomb them back to the Stone Age. Great. What's that going to set them back? 3 weeks? I mean... I never see good news coming out of these countries that we sell arms to. Iran. I've never seen Iran seeks peace, finds cure. Here, the latest, Iran has now threatened to cut off their supply of obnoxious convenience store managers to this country. When I was in school, I remember, you know, we used to give clothing away. What's this with giving guns? I mean, it was so cute, you know. We used to watch these National Geographic films, and we'd give clothing to natives who, of course, they didn't want it. You know, these are people who live naked, and they would get there, and it didn't look good on them, you know. I mean, see them milling around naked now. One guy's naked with, like, a paisley vest, you know, just walking around like, hi, boys, what do you think, huh? Look at the way it goes with my balls. It, picks up the brown very nicely, I think. It's not just something I slap together. You know who's got the best way of running a government? The Israelis. I don't know if they do this, but they used to have this coalition government where they had 2 guys running the thing of equal power. And this is what Jewish merchants have done for hundreds of years, you know. One guy negotiates with the Arabs, and he says, look, my partner's on vacation. I'd take this deal now. When he gets back, he's going to hit the roof. Well, I can make those jokes because I'm half Jewish myself. No, I was raised Catholic. My father's Catholic, formally, but my mother is Jewish, and I've always had the Jewish mind. Like, for example, we used to go into confession, as Catholics do, and I would bring a lawyer in with me. You know? Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I think you know Mr. Cohen. It's not easy half and half, you know. I mean, there are holidays or some are very tough for me. Good Friday is a tough day for me. I mean, I'm happy, I'm sad, it's good news, it's bad news, it's all the holidays. I used to confuse Easter and Groundhog Day. Yeah, you know, I thought Christ rose from the grave. If he saw a shadow, you know, more winter, and who needs that in your coffee? But, no, I was raised on Jewish cooking, which is unfortunate because that is the worst food in the world. Only guilty people would eat like this. I mean, do you ever have Jewish cooking? I mean, these flat pieces of matzah, cardboard. I mean, I would say to my mother, why do you eat like this? And she would say, what Jews say to everything, tradition. This is the way we ate when the Egyptians were chasing us. Ma, it's been 5,000 years. Let the bread rise. Well, you'd think the Pharaoh was right on our ass, you know? I mean, we're living in New Jersey. We're not going to have to part the Hudson River to get out of here. Californians think they're health conscious, but they eat the same crap that I see in the stores back east. And my favorite is there's one on the pretzel aisle, Mr. Salty Pretzels. But that takes a lot of nerve nowadays. Everything is, you know, low salt, no salt, salt-free. Here's one guy, hey, fuck you, Mr. Salty Pretzels. It's like, Mr. Tar and Nicotine Cigarettes. Go ahead, you know. Mr. Gristle and Hard Artery Beef Sticks. I think that's the... Worst food I ever had was in England. People know this about London, right? It's unbelievable. I mean, there are cockroaches in restaurants going, no, I'm going to grab something on the way home. Boat people come in, they go, no, we're good. Thank you. I had something last year. I was over there when I was in college. I was an exchange student for a couple of weeks, kind of my own program. And it's quite a country, because the first thing you learn, of course, is that you don't speak English. We speak American, which I found out the first day. I was taking a test, and this English guy asked me if he could borrow a rubber. Which arched a brow with me. I don't know about you, but... Do you know what that is in England? It's an eraser. Well, I didn't know. Okay, I'm thinking, what does he want one now for? And if you're gonna borrow it, keep it. Boy, I know they've hit hard times over there, but if they're reusing those things, get another Lend-Lease going. Then I had a woman say to me one night, she said, would you come around in the morning and knock me up? I said, sure. I said, if that's the custom, I don't want to be the ugly American over here. That just means come by and say hello, which is embarrassing when you show up naked. I mean, all I can tell her is don't use that phrase in America, because here it means use an eraser. So, you know. Thank you very much. You've been a great crowd. I really enjoyed it.
Higgins, you've done it. I could have laughed all night. You've turned that nephew of yours into a first-rate wit. Yeah, you win the bet.
Stop, Pickering. I'll make you this bargain. You can pay me now, or we can go double or nothing on, say, Oh Baby Gallagher.
You're on.
like to bet on, like, the long shot when I go to the track, you know? Like number 8 to stop in the middle and get silly.
It's a week's worth of silliness.
I took a year of high school French. All I can do is ask how Monique is.
We're talking serious stand-up.
We have an entire country full of high school kids over here worried to death about her.
Catch Paula Poundstone in front of a live audience for a one-night stand. Premieres Wednesday on HBO.
Thank you very much. You guys have been great.